The contribution margin plays a key role in support of many business functions. This video begins to explain this critical management tool. The contribution margin helps identify the relationship between sales and their associated variable costs for an organization. There are a few different ways that the contribution margin can be expressed depending upon what it is identifying or its purpose. As examples, the contribution margin could identify the contribution that the sale of one item makes, or the contribution from the sales of an entire product line, or even the contribution from sales of the entire organization. At the end of the day, the contribution margin is the amount of money remaining from sales after variable costs have been paid. This money can then cover any remaining fixed costs or go to profit. The following charts will show the relationship between sales, variable costs, and how the contribution margin comes into play. Sales or revenue are on the y-axis and units sold are on the x-axis. With each sale, a certain amount of that unit's revenue will go towards covering the expenses directly related to producing that unit, otherwise known as the unit's variable costs. Any cash left over can then be used to pay remaining fixed costs or go to profit. This leftover is the contribution margin. As a tool, it identifies how much revenue from the products sold can be contributed to the company's bottom line. The higher the contribution margin, the higher the percentage of revenue that can be put towards profit, as less needs to cover variable expenses. Chart A shows a higher contribution margin as compared to Chart B. A lower contribution margin will reflect the need to apply more revenue from each unit sold towards the costs associated with sales of that unit, resulting in a smaller amount available to be put towards profit or any remaining fixed costs. Wrapping up, the contribution margin can be expressed in different ways, depending upon how the data is needed to be structured. The underlying principle does not change. The contribution margin represents the revenue that remains and that can be put towards profit after any and all associated variable costs are paid. Up next, we will identify the different methods that can be used to solve for the contribution margin. RDStudy.com video tutorials are produced and owned by Nutrition News Network, LLC. Any copying, reuse, or redistribution, in full or in part for any purpose without the written consent of Nutrition News Network, LLC, is prohibited. All rights reserved.